So this is third video in the series that what coding tools that I use. So the third use case that I use it for is code review. So whenever I write code now, I try to get input from AI on how I could improve the code, um, catch any logical bug, or how I could serve better the end user, maybe a developer or the user of my product that I'm building. So for which I use bunch of tools. So when I like couple of months back when I was using AI, mostly what I was doing was pasting the code in GPT, and for example the code that we did, and say just asking like how I can improve the code. So that is one way to do this. The challenge here is that you should really know what prompts, like otherwise GPT or this will just pick one instance. For example, here it just changed the class structure, like change, tweak the function to a class, and that's the way I think it's better suitable. But there are other aspects, like is there a logical bug here, can the error handling be improved, and this is where like specialized code review tools are pretty helpful, because they have done a lot of optimization, maybe made it agentic, so that you don't have to do this hard work, and they are also helping you reduce the time that you spend in doing this, so you don't have to copy paste and come here and then ask. Even in the case of the cursor, you could ask the same question, but again you need to know the prompt, you need to know that it's not doing the things wrong, no checks and balances are in place. So some of the tools that I use for code review is first Archie AI. So Archie AI makes it pretty simple to use for code review. What you just have to do here is go to their PR review feature, and go to configure, and then put your repository here. Once you do that, you also need to configure that for every PR open, for example, you want us RCI to review, or how to ask question, whether to enable question, how many code suggestion, which review should be skipped. So once you do all of these setup, then it's pretty simple. You go to any bug here, any PR here, for example. So RCI will rewrite the summary for the repository. And this is pretty precise and aligned with a typical guideline for writing a summary, that you should have a 100 or 80 characters title, then purpose, like why you are doing it, and then critical changes, so that your reviewer understands the context of the change and then can go deeper. After that, it also provides sort of in-depth summary, that whether what are the logical bugs, whether the tests are covered or not, and whether there is any security issue. It also provides committable code suggestions that you could do, because it's closed PR, so I can't commit it. But these are sort of ready committable code suggestions, which are pretty helpful. Like these are not just trivial small changes, but long changes. You could also do things like, for example, slash help to get what other things that it does. And I'll walk through that. There are similar tools out there which also provide some of the similar nuances, but RCA is pretty exhaustive. There is also this feature that I like a lot, which is this turbo review. So once you do turbo review, it's the agentic workflow. So what it does is it does bunch of calls, and make sure that the final response that you get is not very what do you call standardized into this form, like logical test coverage. It's more fluid and helpful in that case, but it does take some time to get that response, given it's a bunch of LLM calls that is happening in the background. So by the time it does this, maybe I'll show you other sort of reviews. So for example, one of this, my repo is open source, where I am using Codium and other. So this is how Codium does. So for each of the PRs, it creates a walkthrough, file by file changes, and sort of related issues. This is the feature that we also saw in the case of Archie AI. Now it seems it has gone overboard, because I don't have so many issues that should be correlated to this one. It also gives nice poem, which you might like or not. For me, it's sort of a distraction, but I have heard that some people do enjoy reading it. It also provides some actionable comments, which it could not in this case, because it was perhaps a chill mode. I don't know what that means. Uh, and then this is Greptile. So they also do a nice summary of what changes has happened, and provide code suggestions. So their code suggestions are not directly committable. Like you see that it's the suggestion they have made, and now it's upon you to implement it. Versus what RCI was doing was fully committable code suggestions. So that's about Greptile, and this one, as we come here, so this was the turbo review. So it said that okay, the code style wise, this is a small nit issue, so you don't need to block on it, but these are sort of a higher level consideration, and for each, there is a code suggestions that on how you could implement it. Um, One other tool that is helpful that I like is Codium, that also does a good job. In the Codium case, I don't like their UI and setup a lot more, but they do a good job when it comes to summary and all. So that also you could check out. So overall, the code review tools are pretty helpful, and these are much different from code writing tool, which is in the IDE based. Here, it will be one-time setup. They have done a lot of optimizations that makes your life easier and helps you write better code.